Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm not destroyed. I'm the worst kind of house guest because I'm just destroying the place. Hello. What's up?
How you doing?
What's up?
Good to see you.
Hello. Hey, Cabby.
Hello. Okay, I'm gonna have a seat and stop breaking stuff. My apologies.
We love it. I'm so
Sorry, guys.
Thank you
Hello.
so much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
I'm so excited.
Heated debate. I love what you guys are talking about. I was over there like this, just watching. It was very interesting stuff.
So I heard one thing about you is you give 200% tips on haircuts. And honestly, I agree with you, but I want you to tell people why you give 200% tips on haircuts.
At the convenience. Mostly like when I go and I'll like have my certain barbers, then they'll just slide me in right away.
Yep.
So it's almost like I'm paying to like skip the line.
Yep.
And then like, I don't know about you, but like what's a worse reputation to have? Someone that's cheap or a bad lover?
Oh,
So I never wanted to be cheap. Like I'm sure the other ones out there. But I never want someone to be like, oh, that guy's cheap. So that's why maybe I overcompensate and I leave extra. And they also do a good job. You know what? Actually, I didn't get one, so I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious. I haven't gotten a fade in a few days, so I should have got one before.
And I mean, if you don't tip, you're not showing love, so you're a bad lover. So
And that's part of it compounds the original
We
reputation.
were just talking about sleep, getting enough sleep, and whether or not iPhones sort of affect how much sleep you're getting. Do you feel like you get enough sleep, and do you feel like your smartphone like affects how much sleep you get?
They say it does, right? Because the blue light like triggers something in your brain, and you can't like calm down. When I get home, I usually it takes me a couple of hours to unwind and decompress. But I'm generally like before I go to bed, then I just fire up the phone. I'm just like looking at highlights of other people's days. So I'm on like IG or I'm on Snapchat, and then just like I don't know when my brain decides to like fall asleep. Sometime between 4 or 5 in the morning, but it probably does affect my brain, and I don't get a good night's sleep.
Well, you know, Cabby, you are a very interesting interviewer.
Thank
You
you.
have a
Appreciate
unique
that.
way of being able to open up celebrities and get them to do things they wouldn't necessarily want to do. And could you tell me how you developed that and like how you felt that was your way of doing things?
Oh, thanks. Or thank you, by the way. So I'm just a version of myself, and just like I just know that I try to treat athletes like everyday people. So. Although they have like this incredible talent and they work very hard to sustain their excellence, they're just like regular people to me. So I'll hug them. I'll put my face against their face or whatever as a means to disarm them, to be like we're just boys, like we're just all the same, and we could be having this conversation here in somebody's house, or we could be having this conversation at a bar. We just happen to be on the field or in the arena. So that's kind of why I've decided to be so add so much physicality to my interviews, but also I'm just a generally annoying person, and that's how I am in regular life. So I just translated over to the screen.
I love how you mentioned the incredible talent, because you have interviewed some of the most larger-than-life superstars with larger-than-life paychecks. But now let's talk sports and D1 schools. You know, these giant colleges down south in the U.S. who don't pay their athletes anything, and in fact are blocking some potential athletes from being able to play because they're making money off their likeness.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that? Should they maybe even start to get salaries? Or?
I think that NCAA athletes should get a stipend. These schools make so much money from TV deals, like ESPN. I think they paid over $7 billion just to air the National College Football Playoffs. Like that's just crazy amount of revenue that these institutions that they earn. And then there's sponsorship deals, and I hate the one reason where people say they're earning their education as their payment. Well, then pay the coaches in education. You know what I mean? Like pay the administrators in education. You have access to the library for the next 10 years in lieu of your salary. So I totally believe that you should get a stipend. I know that college football and college basketball are the big income generators at schools. The volleyball team needs some, and the swim team, and rugby, and whatever. So just figure out some kind of tier system where all athletes can benefit, other than just the athletic scholarship. I'm with you. If you're on the same position as I am.
So to talk about sports, I want to talk about football. There's a lot going on with concussions and protesting the national anthem. I want to know how you feel about the future of football. Will it be around in 50 years?
That really depends on you should. I wish they did a study on what mothers of 10-year-olds what sports are the 10-year-olds playing? Because that would indicate what's going to happen down the road. I was listening to Malcolm Gladwell on a podcast, and he said that he believes in the next 10 or 15 years, the line of scrimmage, the linemen will be standing up. So to avoid that collision, like, you know, as soon as they hit the ball, the linemen, they just, you know, they throw themselves at each other. So in one way to avoid concussions, they'll already be standing and they'll just engage with their arms and their chests and whatnot. So I think there'll be a version of that, and then it'll probably just get less, I don't want to say less violent, but maybe less contact. They've already protected the quarterback as much as they can. The quarterback is, you know, the most valuable position on the field, they say, and usually the most marketable person on the team, the CEO of the team. So they'll change some rules where, and unfortunately it won't benefit the defense because they already feel like, you know, they've taken away, you know, spearing, they've taken away leading with the crown of the helmet. They'll just make it a little more. Hopefully there won't be like just touch football where, you know, you're playing flag football in a, you know, Cowboys Stadium, 80,000 people just watch dudes, you know, as they pull flags off each other. But I think it'll still be around. It'll just change. It'd be less violent.
I can say my high school got rid of all boys football, all boys contact sports.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, actually.
So no rugby, no football.
No rugby, no football, no flag football.
You know what's
either.
wild? My school got rid of football, but didn't get rid of rugby because in a scrum, when you start in rugby, you're already linked in, like shoulder to shoulder, like arms, so you actually cannot hit your head in a scrum, in a rugby scrum.
But they're not wearing any like rugby.
Okay,
like,
okay,
they're
I'll
the
give you
most
this.
Gangster
I
of the
was a rugby
athletes.
player. I played rugby for 4 years while I was high school.
You wear your hair down because you have cauliflower ears?
No, I don't. I used to tape my ears back, actually.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but like
all the friction.
They always said that rugby players never have as many concussions, and I honestly saw that. Like when I was playing rugby, no one I knew got a concussion. I knew girls who snapped their legs in half and who broken their collarbones and all sorts of crazy things, but I never knew a girl who got a concussion. Which is, so I don't know necessarily if we weren't saying we did, and the way rugby is played, because you never go head first, you always go shoulder first in rugby.
Yeah, but there's like no equipment. They're like, everybody's out there just basically, the only form of protection is the friggin' headband. That's it.
We don't even wear headbands, you just tape your ears back.
Oh, well, some people who are in the scrum have those like padded, they look like headbands to protect their ears.
Yeah,
but
you guys are talking so much about sports right now.
This is my question.
Sorry, Gracie, what do we got?
No, well, my question is like, I don't understand sports. I don't play sports. I am kind of terrified and intimidated by sports. How can I, like, when I'm at like parties or like involved in conversations like this, I just want to make it seem like I know what's happening.
Right, you need an entry point. Okay,
yeah, like a hot word or something. I can be like, you know what I mean?
Analytics. Analytics is the word. Like, oh, I heard that there's a new movement in analytics.
In analytics.
But then you'll know where the nerds are in the room. The nerds will be come right to you, and then they're just going to want to suck you into the vortex.
What's my follow-up?
Right, analytics. Yeah, I've been reading, and then just mention like some like current pop culture intellectuals. So there's Malcolm Gladwell, maybe throw in a Neil deGrasse Tyson, even though he does astrophysics, but.
And the football, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
see if that works for you.
Okay,